Hello, friends. For my final day of movie song week, instead of doing just one song, I'm going to do all the songs from my favorite childhood movie. It was 1968's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I had the record and I had a little model car, and I went to the movie on my birthday, and I really related to Dick Van Dyke because I had just lost my father, and I kind of imagined my dad being like Dick Van Dyke. He was the kind of dad I liked, that was smart and kind of funny and entertaining and very loving. And the first song after the overture that we hear in the movie is Caractacus Pot, that's Dick Van Dyke's character. He sings to his children, Jemima and Jeremy, and it's just the three of them. And so he sings, someone to care for, to be there for, I have you too. Someone to do for, muddle through for, I have you too. Someone to share joy or despair with, whichever betides you. Life becomes a chore unless you're living for someone to tend to, be a friend to, I have you too. Someone to strive for, stay alive for, I have you too. Could be we three get along so famously, 'cause you two have me and I have you too. Well, the plot thickens as we learn that the children, Jeremy and Jemima, love playing on this old car. It had been a race car that we see in some of the opening scenes. And now it's in a junkyard, and they love playing on it, pretending that they're in races. Then they find out, to their horror, that it's going to be towed away and melted down for scrap metal. So they plead with their father. They go back home, please, Daddy, you need to buy this car. It's a special car. And the thing is, money's short. He's a great inventor, but nobody's buying his inventions. But one of the early inventions that he tries to sell is a candy that accidentally comes out with holes, but then he realizes that's part of the attraction to it. So he goes to the local candy tycoon, Mr. Scrumptious, and he tries to sell his candy. And he sings, Toot, sweets, toot, sweets, the candy you whistle, the whistles you eat. Toot, sweets, toot, sweets, the eatable, tweetable sweet. And then he gets Mr. Scrumptious's lovely daughter, Truly, to sing a verse. She goes, toot, sweets, toot, sweets, the toot of a flute with the flavor of fruit. Toot, sweets, toot, sweets, no longer need candy be mute. And don't waste your pucker on on some old day sucker. And if sugar perfection is, let me see. If you seek perfection in sugar confection, there's something new on the scene. So it's going wonderfully until it isn't, and something goes wrong. And I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but all of the hopes of selling this candy and patent, that goes down the drain. So that later on, that next night, he is singing to his children again, and he's trying to put them at ease and let them leave their troubles behind. So he sings, it is a gentle breeze from Hushabye Mountain, softly blows o'er Lullaby Bay. It fills the sails of boats that are waiting to sail your worries away. Lovely, haunting song that he sings to them, and they go sleepy. And he goes out to try to sell another invention. He sees a traveling circus carnival, and he goes there with his invention to automatically do haircuts. And that's going very well, again, until it isn't. Something goes wrong, and he has a very angry customer running after him, so he is hiding all sorts of funny places. And eventually, why not? He ends up in a troupe of Morris dancers, and to hide, he tries to mingle among them and sing with them. He goes, and they're singing, me old bamboo, better never bother with the old bamboo. You can have me hat or me bumper shoe, you better never bother with the old bamboo. And he sings all these clever lines just off the top of his head and does this amazing dancing. He was such a flexible, interesting dancer, and turns out it's not his inventions, it's his entertaining that makes him some money. So he goes back, he buys the car, takes it to his workshop, and then day in, day out, he's working on that car. We don't know what's going on. We see him bringing in strange things, and finally the time comes, the doors open, and the beautiful car comes out, and he tells the kids, come on, let's take a ride. I think the grandfather doesn't trust it, so he's not going to go. So the kids go for a ride. They're going on, and they run into Truly Scrumptious, almost literally run her off the road. And they say, hey, we're going on a ride. We're going to the beach. Want to come with us? Sure, why not? So they go to the beach. They have a wonderful day playing in the sand and the beach in their swimming costumes, as they would say. And lovely scene. And the kids are recognizing in Truly, there's good mother material here. So they sing her a song that is calculated to win her heart. And let's see, they sing, truly scrumptious, you're truly, truly scrumptious, scrumptious as a cherry peach parfait. When you're near us, it's so delicious. Honest, truly, you're the answer to our wishes. Yeah, what are their wishes? Their wishes are for a mom that looks like her and is nice to them. Truly scrumptious, though we may sound presumptuous, never, never, never go away. Our hearts beat so unruly because we love you truly, honest, truly we do. Well, it works, and she sings a verse back to them about how they're so cute and scrumptious too and all that. Yeah, it's not the most creative song when your name is Truly Scrumptious and they say, truly scrumptious, you are truly scrumptious. But it still works. You just go along with it. And, yeah, you wonder, what about Caractacus and Truly? That's where the love really needs to happen. It's not too much longer that you're going to hear Truly sing a song. Oh, what a love. Oh, what a lovely, lonely man. And so she sings this song, so it reveals what's going on in her heart, that she's falling for him, and how can she make him understand that he needs her and she needs him and everything. So things are moving along that way. But there's kind of an interesting thing where Caractacus is telling this story as they're sitting in the car, and it starts to blur the lines between whether it's actually true or it's just a story, but he's telling the story about a horrible Baron Bombast who has heard about this wonderful car and he wants to steal it. And so he's trying all sorts of things, and he's sending out his Navy fleet to fire at them, and turns out they were at the beach too long and the car is floating out. But the car is like a boat, and it can float and it can outmaneuver a warship. Oh, that's interesting. And then before you know it, it learns how to fly. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang has all sorts of tricks up its sleeve, and yes, that is the name of the title song, and it comes up almost a dozen times, it feels like, through the movie, but I'm going to wait till the end to share that song as they're discovering it. Well, back at home, Grandfather Potts, he's a little bit of a crackpot in the head, and he loves to go on little imaginary trips himself, and he imagines himself a world traveler, and he sings about, oh, the posh, posh traveling life, the traveling life for me. First cabin and captain's table, regal company. Whenever I'm bored, I travel abroad, but ever so properly. Port out, starboard home, posh with a capital P-O-S-H, posh. Well, so he's singing his song about his travels, and unbeknownst to him, Baron's lackeys think he's the real inventor, and they kidnap him, and they take him to the Baron's castle. Well, Caractacus finds out about that, and he has to go, and what else but to take your flying car to go and rescue your grandfather and see what you can do. And they land in this little village just outside the castle, and they notice some strange things, that the people seem sad, and there are no children. And they find out the Baroness is barren and hates children, and the Baron loves toys and doesn't want kids to have the little toys, so he has banished children from this village. And so what is there for Caractacus and Truly to do but to go find these children living in a cave, and guess what they sing to them? A gentle breeze from Hushabye Mountain. And then they sing it in a different key, which I'm not going to do, but they do it so that Truly can sing it and sound really good. So I don't know if the song really helped the kids, but it gave a little bit of hope. Meanwhile, they left their kids at the toy shop that's run by Benny Hill, who plays the toy maker. And while they're gone, and the kids are told not to let anyone in, guess what? The creepy child catcher comes in, and it's sent by the Baron, and the kids are kidnapped too. So now there's really a reason to go and try to free them. Oh, I forgot to sing about the grandfather has been put with these other old men that have long beards because they've been prisoners for a long time, and they have been ordered to create or invent or build a car just like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And of course they don't have the know-how and they don't have the parts, but they have a British stiff upper lip, and they try to look at things in the positive light, and every time they fail, that's just one more way not to build the car. And so they sing, up from the ashes, grow the roses of success. Grow the rose, grow the rose, grow the roses. Grow the rose, grow the rose, grow the roses. Grow the roses of success. Ah, yes. Grow the rose, grow the rose, grow the roses. Those rosy roses, rosy roses, rosy roses. From the ashes of disaster grow the roses of success. Okay, well, they're still not going to have success. They're not going to figure out how to build that car. But now we're going to get a little insight into how weird the relationship is between the Baroness and the Baron. And it starts with a song as they're singing about their love for each other, but at the same time, they are trying to end the lives of each other. It's very, very perplexing. But he sings this, "You're my little choochie face, my choochie little choochie face. Every time I look at you, I sigh." And then she sings to him, "You're my little teddy bear, my lovey-dovey little teddy bear. You're the apple strudel of mine eye." And he sings about her choochie eyes and choochie face and everything. And yeah, they're weird. But the toy maker has promised he's going to bring in wonderful toys. He brings in life-size toys for the Baron and Baroness. And lo and behold, it's not really toys, it is Caractacus and Truly dressed up as toys. And one of my favorite scenes is as the box opens and Caractacus comes out like a marionette, and his dancing, his movement is so convincing. You wonder if he really has strings on him. He just, it's an amazing scene. And then he goes and he opens the other big box, and they fall aside, and you realize that Truly is now a music box dancer. It's wound by a key, and he goes and crank, and he winds it up, and she sings this song. "What do you see, you people gazing at me? You see a doll on a music box that's wound by a key. How can you tell? I'm under a spell. I'm waiting for love's first kiss. Oh yes, So they haven't kissed yet, but you know that Correcticus and Truly, they're singing lullabies to children, and oh man, things are coming together. They're a great team. You cannot see how much I long to be free, turning around on this music box that's wound by a key. Yearning, yearning, while I'm turning around and around. Well, the chords in that song perfectly mesh with the song that the children sang earlier. And apparently Caractacus was paying attention, because then he sings, truly scrumptious. Well, that's sort of becoming a love song, but they're doing it as a two-piece round with a music box song. And I'm not going to tell you how it goes from there, but suffice it to say it is a children's story, so it is going to end with a happy ending, and everybody that has been captured and a prisoner is freed, and everyone bad, things don't go so well for them. And then as they're flying home in their lovely flying automobile, the soon-to-be family, Caractacus, Truly, Jemima and Jeremy, they sing, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And in pretty chitty bang bang, pretty chitty, what we'll do, near, far, in a motor car. Oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fender friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fender friend. You're sleek as a thoroughbred, your seats are a feather bed. You'll turn everybody's head today. We'll glide on our motor trip, the pride of our ownership, B&B of all we survey. Oh, chitty, you chitty, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And chitty in chitty, pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we'll do, near, far, in our motor car. Oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered friend. Bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, our fine four-fendered. Bang chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, fine four-fendered, chitty chitty friend. And those are all the songs in that wonderful movie, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting this together.